We should take a break from each other. Those words that I never wished to hear were coming from the lips of the person that I wanted to share my life with. I'm not saying that we should break up, just that we should just take a small break from each other, he said as he looked away, unable to make eye contact with me. I knew what this meant. He didn't mean just a break, but that it was over. I bit the inside of my mouth to keep myself from begging him not to leave me, that I would change for him, that if there was something that I did wrong, I would fix it for him. Instead, I took a deep breath and sighed as I stood up. Yeah, I also need a break from you. In that case, I'll take my leave, I said as I grabbed my bag and left. With every step, I was hoping for him to stop me, to pull me into a hug, and beg for me to forgive him, that it was all a mistake. But that didn't happen. With every step, my heart shattered until there was nothing left but the echo of my steps on the ground as I left the pieces of my heart behind. He never came after me. He never even bothered to reach out to me after that day. The silence for him was a reminder that he didn't want anything to do with me. Even after days passed, weeks, and even a few months, I still had the hope that he would reach out to me, but he didn't. There were times when I wanted to reach out to him, ask him how he is doing, and so on, but I stopped myself from doing so. Why would I reach out to someone that through many years of our relationship like it was nothing? He deserves nothing more but hatred on my part. Every thought of him brought pain into my chest, as if a dagger was pressed deep into my heart. I wish it was possible to erase my feelings for him, but I couldn't. But I came to accept that this is my new reality, and I had to move on. It was unfair for me to be stuck in the past, while he already decided to move on after that day. Though right now, love wasn't something that I wanted in my life, at least not yet, or maybe not ever. Now, after all this pain that I'm going through, love isn't something that I want to even think about. I made a silent bow to myself on that night before closing my eyes and drifting off to sleep. Life felt like a loop, going to work, eating, sleeping, repeat. It's funny to think that even when life makes you miserable, nothing around you changes. You're the one that changes. But I would like to think that I changed for the better, that I became someone stronger after all that pain I went through. I knew I wasn't going to get back the wasted years that I spent with him, but I still had a bright future ahead of me. That's something that he wasn't able to take away from me, my future. With those thoughts, I powered through life until one day on my days off, I met someone who brought hope into my life. I was at the library when it started raining. At least it seemed like it was your typical rain, until we were told that it was a typhoon and nobody was allowed to leave the library until everything was over. There weren't a lot of people in the library, since it was past 6, maybe less than 20 people at max. The howling wind hitting the windows made everyone feel anxious, and we were asked not to get close to any of them. Mostly everyone got together in one place, while others scattered around, and I was one of them. At least the electricity was still working, so I went to a corner and grabbed my book to read. At least that's what I was planning to do until someone approached me. "How could you think of reading at this time?" someone asked. I looked up to see a man around my age frowning at me. "Isn't it better than just waiting to see if I'm going to survive the typhoon?" I replied, and he just shrugged. "Good point. Mind if I sit here with you?" he said, but before I could reply, he went ahead and took a seat next to me. I couldn't help but think that he was just the type of straightforward person that had no shame, so I just shrugged it off and continued reading. He, on the other hand, took out his laptop and started typing away. I had to finish this report before midnight. I had come here to the library to at least get a change of scenery, but instead, I got a change of weather. I couldn't help but smile at how horrible the sentence sounded before everything went dark and the only thing that was left giving some light was from his screen. "Everyone, make sure you don't leave your seats so no one gets hurt," someone said. I couldn't hear I could hear the people whispering in worry, while the person next to me didn't stop typing. "Who writes reports at a time like this?" I asked, and the man laughed and said, "Only a workaholic." After an hour, the man finally stopped typing and put his laptop to the side. "I'll leave it like this so we can at least have some light," he said as he took a deep breath. "You finished with the report?" I asked him, and he nodded. "Yeah, it's done now. But I can't send it yet since the network is down," he said as he sighed. "Oh, by the way, my name is William," he said as he offered his hand to me. I took it before replying back. "My name is Chloe." He gently squeezed my hand before letting go. "What a way to meet someone, don't you agree?" he said with a chuckle. "I agree." We spent the rest of the hours getting to know each other. He showed me images of the places he's been to. Because of his work, he has to keep traveling to many places often. He showed me images of a field of beautiful flowers or a peaceful stream in the middle of nowhere. All those places seem so magical, I couldn't help say. "Well, they're close by. Maybe someday you'll be able to see it for yourself," he replied. We continued like that until it was around 10:30, when the typhoon finally died down and the electricity came back. Everyone gathered around until the manager of the library said we were free to go, but to make sure to drive safely home since no one knew how the roads got affected. "You're welcome to come back here if the roads are blocked," the manager from the library said. I turned to look at William and he smiled at me. "Well, this is it. It's time to say farewell. It was good talking to you, Chloe." I nodded and said, "It was good talking to you as well, William. Drive home safely and good luck turning in your report." With that, we said our goodbyes and we each left our separate ways. A month passed after the library accident and I had forgotten about William. It was like any other day. I was at the store, tending to some customers when a familiar face came into sight. "Seems like we're meeting again, Chloe," William said with a smile playing on his lips. I couldn't hide my smile as well after seeing him. "Seems that way," I said. I finished packing his things as he paid for them. "What time do you get out of work?" he said as he looked down at his watch. "I get out at 8 today," I replied, and he just simply said, "I see," and he nodded before walking away. I watched him leave confused, but I wasn't able to look at him for long since I had another customer waiting for me to attend. As time passed by, getting closer for me to leave work, I couldn't help but take a few glimpses outside to see if he would appear. But instead, another man came into my sight, a man that I didn't want to see in my life again. It was my ex passing by, but he wasn't alone. He was with a woman. He made a gesture as if telling the woman to wait for him there as he came inside the store. I pretended like I didn't know him as I continued sweeping until he came into my sight and I looked up. "How have you been, Chloe?" he asked, but I didn't reply. "Are you ready to pay for your items?" I asked as I put the broom to the side and went to the counter. I could hear his footsteps follow close behind as he said, "Is it that hard to reply?" My question wasn't that hard, he said as he tossed the items he had on the counter. Before I could say anything about his attitude, someone else replied to him instead. "She isn't forced to reply to such a rude person." My ex frowned and turned around just to meet with William's serious gaze. "Oh, it's you, boss. I wasn't expecting to see you here. I was actually about to leave now after I paid for this." His attitude quickly changed, and I started scanning for his items. He quickly paid and left, making the woman who was waiting for him outside rush to catch up with him. "You know that guy?" I asked William. He nodded. "Yeah, he works in my company. He isn't a great element, to be honest." "I see," I said, and I couldn't but think how small the world is. "Mind if I wait on the table until you're closed?" I nodded. "Of course, that's fine." I watched him leave, and I continued sweeping around the store before I switched the sign to close and then made my way to sit with William, who was already busy on his laptop. "You're done for the day?" he asked without looking away from his screen. "Yeah, I am." He finished whatever he was doing before closing his laptop. "I hope you're hungry because I brought some food with me. Hopefully it isn't against the store rules not to bring food from somewhere else." Oh, you don't have to worry about that. My parents are the owners of the store, so I'm allowed to bend the rules, I said with a smirk. And he smiled as he took out a bag of food and scattered it around the table. I didn't know what you liked, so I brought some burgers, fries, even wings, he said bashfully. I couldn't help but think that was adorable of him to do this for me. I love what I'm seeing and I can't wait to start eating. Oh, by the way, what drink would you like? It's on the house, I said as I stood up. A Coke would be fine, thank you. I nodded and I left to go get the drinks. When I came back, William had already organized everything on the table and we started eating. I didn't think I was ever going to see you again, William, after that day with the typhoon, I said as I started picking up the trash that I had, and William started doing the same. Yeah, same here, and it was such a coincidence too. I had some errands to do close by, and when I saw the store, I decided to get some things, and to my surprise, I see a familiar face. After cleaning the table, we continued talking some more until many hours passed and he got a phone call. Oh, I need to pick this call, he said, and I nodded. Of course, go ahead, I said as I stood up to give him some privacy. I went to get my bag from the back of the store, and when I came back, William was already gathering his things. I'm needed back in the office. It was nice to see you. I will be sure to come by again, he said. I can say the same, and thank you for the food. Get to work safely, I said as I walked him to the door and stepped outside with him. Thank you, take care going home. And with that, he left to his car, waved goodbye, and left. As I watched him leave, a small warm feeling rested in my chest. Though us eating together didn't really add up to anything, it was enough to make me happy. I closed the door and made my way home, looking forward to seeing William again. After that day, I didn't get to see him again. A few weeks passed, and no sight of him. Something big must have happened at his work. I couldn't help but think as I continued sweeping. I had left the door open to the door past closing time in case he decided to come in randomly. I knew it wasn't safe to do such things, but I had hoped that William would show up again. With that in mind, I heard the bell from the door ring, which meant that someone had come into the store. I quickly made my way to the front of the store hoping to see William, but instead, it was my ex. I froze and the smile that was on my lips vanished. Were you waiting for me? He said mockingly. I glared at him. The store is closed. Please leave, I said. Not if the door was open, then it's open for business, he replied. Not if the sign says that it's closed, I said, and he grunted. Well, I'm not leaving. I wanted to see you, he said as he went to take a seat to the nearby chair. And I knew he wasn't planning on leaving anytime soon. What do you want? Don't you have your girlfriend waiting for you? He shook his head. You're mistaken. She was nothing like that, just someone that I could waste my time with, he said as if it was nothing. Maybe he had said that months ago, it would have hurt, but now those words don't faze me at all, and instead I'm annoyed to see him here. I see. Then find someone else to waste your time with, I say as I go and open the door, urging him to leave, but instead he grabs my wrist hard and pulls me towards him. I would have thought you missed me and wanted me back. Seems like you managed to quickly move on. Don't tell me you're dating my boss, he said as he gripped my wrist harder. I winced at the pain, and I tried to pull my wrist away, but he held it tighter. It hurts. Let go. But he wasn't listening until someone pushed him away and got in front of me like a shield. You're going too far, even for you, someone said, and when I saw who it was, my heart lit up. It was William. My ex face twisted with anger as he straightened himself up. Are you the one that Chloe is dating? You're just wasting your time because she already has a boyfriend, he said, and I shook my head. No, we're not, and I'm never getting back with you ever. Boss, she isn't your type. She's a normal, simple, boring person. Nothing is interesting about her. You deserve better. The words he said felt like needles in my heart. Who I choose to date is none of your concern, but spreading false rumors like that, I won't allow it. But good thing that I get to talk to you. I have something for you." William said as he reached for something in his book bag and pulled out an envelope and gave it to him. "What's this?" my ex said, confused, as he opened it. As he read it, his expression got darker by the second. "You're firing me?" he said as he crumbled the letter. "You can't do that." "We can, and we did. The mother's showing up to the office anymore. You are not needed. All your things will be sent to your address." William said calmly, "Now leave before I call the police." My ex glared at him and then at me before he left. I put my hand on my chest. I hadn't noticed how fast it was beating. William locked the door to the store and came to my side. "Are you okay?" he said as he rested his hands on my shoulders. And that's when my tears started falling down. All these pent-up emotions that I had from months ago until now got released at this moment. William didn't say anything and pulled me into a hug. He didn't care that all my tears and snot were going to get to his clothes. Even when I tried to push him away, he held to me tighter that I stopped resisting and hugged him back instead. Even after I had calmed down, he still didn't pull away. "Are you feeling better now?" he asked, and I nodded. "Yeah, I feel much better." I clung to his warmth and his scent. I didn't want to pull away from him. I felt safe in his arms. After a few more minutes, we let go. "I'll be back. I have to wash my face," I said, embarrassed, and he nodded. "Sure, take your time." And I made my way to the restroom and washed my face. My cheeks felt hot, and I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were swollen, but that was to be expected after all the crying. I took a deep breath and went back to William. I didn't want to keep him waiting. He was sitting down, and I went ahead and took the chair in front of him and sat down. "Chloe, I'm not someone who likes judging people, but you should leave that jerk. He doesn't deserve you," he said bluntly. "Oh, him? He turned into a stranger to me months ago. There isn't anything between us anymore." William nodded and smiled. "That's good to hear, because I didn't like the thought that you were together with him. For other reasons as well," he said as he looked at me. "Chloe, I know right now isn't the best time to bring this up, but I will like it if in the near future we could continue meeting each other. More often, that is." He said as he took his phone out. "I wanted to share our numbers as well. I'm not good at things like this, so I don't know if I'm doing this right," he said bashfully. I couldn't help but chuckle as we shared numbers with each other. The tense atmosphere from a few minutes ago had completely vanished. I looked at William with hope for the future. Right at this moment, I had a lot of healing to do. Dating someone new now wasn't in my plans yet. My heart hasn't healed completely, but if I had William by my side from now on, I know that healing will be faster. I am grateful for how things started, how it's going to go, and how it will be. The future isn't set in stone, and I'm okay with that. I'll go to my future, one step at a time, and slowly open back to love with William by my side.